And going.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. This is Neely and Chris.
Hey!
Hanging out at the Melodic Rock Fest, number 5. We just heard Radio Sun.
Yeah, what you think, man?
Not bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah,
Came all the way from Australia to play, 45 minutes?
Yeah, there you go.
They probably sat on the tarmac in Australia for 45 minutes.
No kidding. So they fly 20 hours to play 45 minutes and turn around and go back home.
That's crazy. But
the guy who is responsible for this Melodic Rock Fest is the one and only Andrew McNeice, who put this thing together for the last year, and it's wrapping up today. We're in day 3, so go ahead, Andrew, take a seat.
Take a seat, brother.
Oh, thanks, guys.
How are you, man?
I'm not really sure.
Are you tired yet?
Yeah, I'm bugging.
Dude, we were saying earlier, we were watching the crowd, and we were like, we could tell who's been here all 3 days from just today.
Oh, yeah.
By the stretching and limping and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And the ones sitting down at the back.
Exactly, but
we're all getting old, man.
Dude, first and foremost, man, this has been a great festival.
Thank you.
You know, I know because I talk to you all the time how hard this is, but, I mean, this is what? A year plus of you planning.
Yeah, pretty much. By the time you come up with a stupid idea to do it, it's about a year to put it together and promote and argue with artists that want too much money and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and that's it, too. And I mean, I know for a lot of people, they'll just think, well, it's a small festival and it is what it is. But it's not when you negotiated. I mean, you're in Australia. And you're negotiating flights and hotels for people from Australia, from the UK, from Sweden, from America. You know, this has got to be a fucking logistical nightmare, dude.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It could almost be a full-time job for one person, you know?
Right.
That's why it takes a year to get it done.
But you're like us. Everything's a full-time job. You obviously
exactly. It's a big mishmash of what the hell do you do for a job, you know?
Right. And it's so funny, dude, because I always crack up when you start bitching on Facebook about, I don't have enough time to write reviews, or I don't have enough time for this or that, with everything that's going on with all the stuff you're doing, whether it's Melodic Rock Records or melodicrock.com or obviously this festival. But I can say, as somebody that, you know, I own a couple of businesses myself as well as radio, people don't realize how much time this takes to do it right.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, it takes a shitload of time.
Right.
But in my mind, it's only a small festival. The logistics are close to, you know, any size festival.
Right,
because
sure.
It's the same amount of bands, people, and crap.
Right.
But, you know, it's fun to do.
Right.
And I just put on a festival that I know I'd like to go and see.
Right, sure.
And, you know, the people that come,
sure.
Some of them have been to all 5, and some are just, this is their first one. But every single person here is just hanging out, having fun.
Sure.
Real family atmosphere.
And that was what we were saying, I think, yesterday, was this is not, all right, we're at the show.
Yeah.
It really is a lot of camaraderie, you know, lots of people, even at the hotel, everybody hugging and shaking
no
hands.
One wants to
and
go to bed, you know, everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone's just hanging around like, what do we do now?
Right. But it's just been so much fun being out here, and, you know, what's amazing to me is I don't know where a lot of the bands rank internationally. You know, I mean, I see them on your site, and but that being said, I don't know where that puts them standing-wise. And then I see them come out here, and I see these hardcore. I'll point to a band like Station. Yeah. Station, I know, is I know they have a little bit of buzz here in the States. I don't know what their buzz is outside of here, but I swear I watched them play, and they kicked ass, and then they were set up right where we are right now that day. And, I mean, the entire audience shifted from the stage to the table for their merch and to take pictures. And
and that's another thing about this festival. On every occasion I've done it, I've said to all the artists, make yourself available. I mean, they don't have to be convinced,
sure,
which is fantastic, but they really do go out of their way
Right.
To talk to every single person. I mean, Heat we were here till 2 a.m. last night.
Right.
Clearing the line, and every single person in that line got through.
Sure.
And met the whole band.
It's really for someone, and I'll be the first one. I think I told you this when we originally agreed to do this with you. I don't know all these bands.
Yeah,
I don't.
No one does. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's probably the one criticism I get. It's like, well, where are your headliners? Who are all these bands? It's like, well, you don't have to pay for any of this music, finding it online.
Right, sure.
Go and have a listen.
Right.
And everybody comes to me and says, oh, I heard of these guys, I'm here for them, but now I've just found 5 new bands.
Exactly. And, I mean, yeah. Could you throw a Dokken or something, or a Rat or something? Yeah, you could.
Or a Rat. Are you serious?
You could. But what I'm saying is it wouldn't fit this atmosphere of this festival.
It would not fit this atmosphere, no.
And for people that were here, and I'll point to what I think has been the best band of the entire 3 days, which is Crazy Licks.
Oh, yeah, they really did impress the hell out of some people.
Were amazing.
Yeah.
And we were saying last night on the show, that's a band that put on a Type A show. If they weren't here, they should be playing at 10 o'clock down in Maryland at M3 yesterday.
Absolutely.
Amazing performance. And that's what we've had all throughout the festival. I'll be honest, not a huge fan of Boulevard. Yeah. I watched them this morning, or I guess it was this afternoon, but it feels like one continuous day. But to me, probably the low point, just because they were slow.
Yep.
And that being said, I'd see them again.
Yeah.
They were solid. There hasn't been any bands that sucked. Yep. And that all by itself, 3 days, 20 whatever number of bands.
It's a big undertaking.
Yeah.
Everybody, just because of the hardcore crowd and the nature of this event, everybody brings their A game.
Right. Exactly.
And I've seen other festivals where. Some bands have a really bad night.
Sure, yeah. Well,
which happens to everyone at some stage, I'm sure. But
of course,
I don't think I've seen it here.
No, not at all. And I would be remiss if I did not compliment you. And I don't know if you did this or it just worked out this way or what. Your sound guy is fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been complimenting him all weekend long. We have watched, what have we watched now? 20 bands, I think, at this point. Yeah. 20 bands. I have not heard a guitar squeal or
feedback
or nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the whole weekend, we are half an hour behind today, which is the first off-schedule
I know.
We've had the entire festival. They're awesome guys.
And it's funny because I was talking to your sound guy, and he was livid last night about Crazy Licks being like 5 minutes late.
Yeah, I know.
He was like, they're cutting into their own set time, man.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, relax. We're so on time.
I've had a couple of bands tell me to go and tell him to relax.
Right.
But I'm like, no, that's his job, man. We've got to keep this thing on track. Otherwise, we're cutting headliners. And, and no one wants a shorter set. And that's something else I've done here with this festival is try and even the opening band has 45 minutes.
Sure.
Because we want every band to be able to play.
Well, and that's it. Nobody wants to travel wherever whether they're traveling from Wisconsin or Milan. Yeah. Nobody wants to come and travel and put their money out there for 30 minutes.
No,
that's not worth it.
Why should they? Yeah.
And for, I think we've been drawing probably 400, 500 people a night, whatever it's been. Those people want to learn. This is a group of people, everybody that's here today, that wants to discover new music and wants to find stuff.
That's the thing that frustrates the shit out of me. Every single person here excluded, and those that couldn't make it but would like to have, if the general public, not the general public, let's say the guys who grew up. I mean, Def Leppard sold 10 million records, right?
Sure.
So they had 10 million fans.
Right.
Where are they all?
Yeah.
And I know we get old, we have kids, we have video games and Netflix and less time than ever, but I don't know why a lot of people lose their passion for music at some stage and never go back to it. Well, and I've got a lot of people here
Right.
Even this weekend, I've had a dozen people say,
sure,
this is the first time I've been here.
Right.
Oh, my God. These all bands are amazing.
Right. Well, and that's like, I don't know if you heard my intro to Madman's Lullaby last night when I was on stage, but I gave the true story for me, which was we were talking about how the licensing bureaus are just completely screwing the internet and podcasts and whatnot,
right,
and how I reached out to you as a label owner to say, hey, we'd love to play your music. Can you work with us a little bit? And you were like, sure, no problem. First band you sent me was Madman's Lullaby, and I could not have fallen more in love with the band. They are so good, man.
Man, I think those guys are a Skid Row level band.
Right.
Had it been...
Right.
1990.
Yeah.
1988.
Well, and that's them, Crazy Licks, Heat Treat, all those bands,
they're
man.
All million-selling artists.
Yeah. It is the way it is, and I hate to admit it, but I think as we get older, we get looking for more comfortable. Oh, I know that song. I know Bob Seger Turned the Page, so I'll just listen to that 400 times instead of finding the next guy.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean... Not everybody has that drive, and I don't know why, because I can't imagine not finding a new artist or bit of music or song every week.
Exactly.
I think everybody in this building has that same appetite. It's
right.
Just, I wish more would.
Right, no doubt.
And those out there that do, I wish they'd, come along and participate.
Well, maybe the next one that you say you're not doing.
Oh, man, I'm burnt.
You're burned today. But I'm going to ask you in 3 months, and you're going to be like, maybe one more time.
We're getting old, man.
I hear you, dude.
I can't do 3 full days again.
Well, we were just talking about that today, about maybe 2 days, because it's like, man, are we tired.
Every bit of me's aching from
no doubt, man. Well, dude, last thing I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to say it to you face-to-face and personally, Neely and I both could not be more fucking appreciative of you inviting us to do this, and you've been unbelievably accommodating to me, Neely, our girls, whatnot. I mean...
I appreciate it.
Way above and beyond,
That's just how I would like things done for me.
Well, sure, but that ain't the way it goes most times.
No,
that's most times it would be like, yeah, you can come. It's $170 at the door and get your own fucking hotel, buddy. You know. But you've been super accommodating, and we appreciate it, man. And
you loved having you guys here. It's been great.
I hope it did bring some fans. I know we had. I'm sure you saw quite a few CMS shirts running around here
we
through
had
the
some
weekend.
Online sales over the weekend. People were logging on, buying tickets.
Sure.
So absolutely.
Exactly, man.
Great to have you here.
Fantastic being here. I appreciate finally meeting you in person.
I know.
It's weird. You and I have known each other, 15 years?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Without ever, shaking hands or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
I live
crazy.
in the arse end of the world. It's the one thing
we're just so far away that it never happens. But it's been really great. And
that's something I love particularly about coming out
sure.
and doing these shows, because I
absolutely,
get to
man.
see, all these great people and a lot of old
no
friends.
doubt, man. It's just been fantastic, dude. Well, thank you so much, dude. Thank you for a great weekend. And, obviously whatever we can do to keep helping melodicrock.com or Melodic Rock Fest, if there is another one, we're here, man.
I appreciate you taking on my artists and giving them some airtime.
Dude, we love having the artists because there's so many good ones that most people would not hear otherwise, man.
Yeah,
so
I believe in the new artists. I believe in unknown names.
Well, that's it, man. It doesn't always have to be that same tired Tora record or whatever. It can be the next wave and the next band and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So, good stuff, man. Well, dude,
thanks, Chris,
thank you so much, man. And
really appreciate it.
And we will do this again at some point somewhere, man.
Maybe via phone.
All right, brother.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, man.